Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Yes, I'm doing a dirty job today, and that is replacing this more than likely original steering damper on the 110. Now, before I get into switching over that steering damper, it's worth mentioning that every time we release a video at LR Parts, we do a 5% discount for 10 days after that video is posted for all the products that are featured in the video and listed in the description. So if you're looking for a steering damper, there's 5% off. All you have to do is just scroll down, click the link, it'll take you to the website, and you'll see it's 5% off, but only for 10 days. So it's worth having a look, and that applies to every time we post a video. Subscribe if you haven't already, because that will give you a chance to make sure you don't miss anything. And if we feature a product that you really need for your vehicle, then you could get yourself a nice little discount. So let's crack on and get stuck into that steering damper. So this is a fairly easy job, you know, technically, but what makes it complicated is the nuts and bolts haven't come off for about 30 years. So the only thing I can hope for is that there's enough oil that's come off the engine that sort of found its way around those nuts and bolts. They do look pretty grim. They're completely congealed with dirt on all the oil. So I mean, just a little bit of wiping down should get them clean enough to get them off, and I'm hoping they haven't seized because they've been soaked in oil for the last 25 years. So let's have a look and see what we're going to be using. Now, there's loads of products out there on the market. You've got Terrafirma do some really great steering dampers. Old Man Emu as well do some really great steering dampers. But because we're not going for ultra off-road, you know, driving, we're going for a trusted, reliable, really good unit. The Bilstein, I think, is one of the best shocks on the market. So hopefully this is going to make a massive improvement. Now, it's in off-road yellow, which I wasn't aware was an actual colour, but there we have it. It does look nice. I mean, when you compare it to what's on there, that is a massive improvement cosmetically. So we're going to be using a stainless bolt from YRM, and it comes with stainless washers and a stainless nylock nut. So nice bit of kit, because if we have to do this again in the next 30 years, we want to make sure that it's not seized. So here we have our very crusty damper, and you can see what we're up against when it comes to the bolts. So I think what we're going to do is just try to use a wire wheel on the drill just to expose that a little bit and see how that comes out. That's come up well. Oh yeah, that is no bother. Thank you, leaky engine. Okay, washer on there. So the nut's off. Let's just give that a little tap. Right, we'll leave that just for a moment and switch over to the other one. Right, we're now in here, and that's equally dirty, as you can see. So this is the end of our steering damper, and you can see we've got two nuts on here because they're locking against each other. So we need two 17s to get those broken apart. So unfortunately, the only thing I've got that's small enough to get in there are these vice grips, needle vice grips, and I don't think they're going to be man enough to hold that. Right, let's have a go with this. You never know. Oh, look at that. Right, we're in business, look. Beautiful. Oh, that's nice and loose. Oh, that is nice and loose. Thank you. The gods are smiling on me today. That's what we like. Okay, so now that the shock's released, I should be able to compress it. I mean, it is very old. There you are, look. Ugh. No problem at all. That's not even coming back out again. So, we just need to work out how to get that bolt out the end. I don't think it's hard, it's just for some reason it's just been awkward. Right, partly because it's annoying me and partly because I think it'll be fun, we're going to burn the rubber out. Right, there's the old shock off. I just thought maybe if I could get the collar off it, it would help. There's some of the bush, some of the rubber bush in there, look. There we go. So right, there's the rubber bush. I think what's happened is there's a collar. Right, I can see what's happened. There is a collar, like a sleeve inside that's obviously solidified itself to the bolt. And that's why I can't knock it free. So the only thing we could do is a bit more WD, a bit more heat maybe. Right, I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't use real hammers on Land Rovers, but gotta be honest, I have to take a break. That's just doing me in. While we take a commercial break, let me just show you what we're up against. So, this is our new steering damper, and this is the end that we'll be working on. So you can see in there is a tube spacer, it's like a collar. Our bolt goes into it like that. Now, it's a shoulder bolt, so obviously it's quite a nice tight fit. There's no gaps between the threads, and what's happened is that has corroded together, which is another fantastic idea why you should fit a stainless steel bolt. There's no real torsional stress on there, so a lot of people think that stainless isn't as strong, but it is if you go for the right grade. This is an external grade of stainless steel made by YRM, so it's rated correctly as well. So you wouldn't get that problem where this stainless bolt sees into that collar. You just wouldn't get it, which is what the problem is we've got now. So all of these things are preventative for the future because, you know, there's no reason why this wouldn't be around for another 20 years, at least. Hey, it's gone. Okay, so we did it. This is the bolt. You can see there, yes, it has got some corrosion. And basically it was just fused. I can't even push that back on there now, it's that tight, but that is the sleeve that was on there. So anyway, that's done. Let's get on with fitting the new one. So it's time we loosen these just to move them out of the way slightly. So you guys, you'd be surprised how hard it is to film and use tools at the same time. Not because, you know, I want it to look good, but sometimes the camera and the tripod and the lights are all in completely the wrong place and just make everything so much more awkward than it needs to be. But for you, it's worth it. No, there we go. There we are. So now they should clear. So we've got this end of the damper. We're going to just take that nut off, like so. And that's going to pass through. We're going to get that passed through our end first, and then we'll bolt this in place. So we're in that one. Like so. So make sure you remove all your old bush plates because that was still stuck in there, which made life difficult for us. And what we're going to do is, there's not a lot of compression in these, if I remember rightly. Probably more than I expected. There we go. There we are. So, I mean, there's a hell of a lot more pressure in that than there was the one took off. Christ. It's just about doable. The thing with a stainless steel bolt is they're not designed to be used with power tools, so if you're going to use a ratchet like this one, you need to do it super slow. And you do it so that it doesn't heat up, because if you go too quick, it's going to heat up and it'll bind. So at the end of our threaded end piece, there's actually a Allen socket So we're going to use an Allen key to hold that while we do it up. Obviously, if you overdo it, you're going to basically compress that rubber bush too much, and it's going to go hard, and it's not going to perform properly. So I'm happy with that. Here we go. So we've got 3 or 4 threads coming out at the end, which is just right. We haven't over compressed that rubber bush, but it is nice and tight. There's no movement inside that mount, and it's all bolted through stainless at the back there. Our clamps are tightened up, out of the way. So now everything should work as it intended. Let's take it for a spin. I'm not convinced we're going to notice a lot of difference, if I'm honest, because we're not off-road. But we shall see. So we've got a roundabout coming up. We'll see if this is showing any improvements at all on the steering. I am getting a little return, which is nice. So beforehand I wasn't getting any return at all, but I am definitely getting some return on the wheel. And that feels nice. So you can see you've got plenty of ability to steer precisely with a smaller wheel. Yeah, I actually think that's a lot better. That is a big improvement with that steering damper, going around a roundabout, tight turns. That has definitely made an improvement. A little bit of understeer. Oh, the brakes are terrible. Definitely improved handling. Wow. If you've changed the suspension on your Land Rover and you haven't done the steering damper, you are missing out, because it is just sharpening everything up. It's just bringing everything back. So, you know, it kind of helps you return. Not massively, but it definitely feels more positive. It's a much more positive feeling drive. So yeah, for that, it's brilliant. So guys, thanks very much for watching. As I said before, I'm on holiday for a week, so you might miss an episode. I do apologise for that, but I'll be fresh-faced when I get back. So thanks very much for watching. Please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Do subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.